pocket party.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Is it working? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can see you. I can hear you.
Look at that. You
Welcome.
see my shirt?
Enjoy it.
Damn, man. You got to tell me about this. I love that. I love
Dude,
it. I love it.
I'm looking like Christmas. I got green. I got red. It's like,
Yep.
and we're still celebrating Christmas.
Let me introduce you. This is Darren Carter, the party starter, good friend of me and Brody, and the Festival of Friendship Network and Walk. Welcome,
Yes.
Darren.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Tommy Godlove.
The Walk starter.
Yeah, the walk starter.
Hey, man, I wanted to bring you on because 1 week ago today was a very special day for me, you, the city of Los Angeles, Brody's family, Brody's friends, and all his fans and stuff. And I wanted to bring you on because you've been you've been a special part of this movement and everything. And I just want to get your thoughts about it and how you felt about it and what you think about going forward.
Man, first of all, I want to say a big shout out and thank you for everything that you've done, like to make this progress forward, from the moment that, I remember you would be on my radar because you would, interact with different comedians I knew, and you'd always give us these little pep talks, and it'd be like, and your name stands out, Tommy Godlove, and I'm like, what is the kind of name is that? Like, but it was interesting. I liked it. And it was always like positive, and then I remember like, it was cool. Like when I first started the podcast, the Pocket Party podcast, you were one of the first people to kind of like retweet it and kind of share it. And it was really cool to have like this cheerleader on the internet that I don't remember meeting. I don't think we knew each other, but maybe just a little hi and bye, that kind of thing. But it was like this positive force. Like I'd see the kind of stuff you'd put out there. I'm like, this is really cool. Little did I know how cool you really are, I remember seeing when I went to San Diego, you and your mom, you came to a show, and it was like, wow, there he is, the guy from the internet, Tommy Godlove. Like he's a real person. He's not just an emoji, and he's got a mom. And I remember, I don't know if I gave you a heads up when Brody was on, but I know that I was excited to have Brody on the podcast, and it was, I was excited because I don't know if I ever told you this. I had a previous podcast, and that I had a co-host, and it was a little bit more chaotic. And
Yes.
and I remember, and Brody actually did that one. So I have that.
What was it called?
It was called the Dick. His name was Dick Spenneberg, Dangerous Dick. He was a DJ down in San Diego and also LA, and Darren. So it was called the D&D show, Dick and Darren. And we did 213 episodes, and it was back in 2011, 2012. And, those were fun episodes, a lot more cursing, a little bit more grimy, and we'd have like 4 people on at a time. But it definitely was like something that was different than what I'm doing now. And I remember Brody did that. He did that episode. I should probably find it somewhere and like send it to you or something. I don't, if I still have it, I don't even know if it's out there still, but, that was and it was funny. The co-host had never met Brody, so he didn't know what to think of him. You know how Brody's style is like. I'm from Reseda, and like naming off his credits and stuff, and then the co-host was kind of like, oh, just like he didn't know what. It was hilarious to me, But fast forward, my own podcast, and it was. I remember, I'll never forget that day. Like, Brody reached out to me, he's like, I want to do your podcast. And it's so cool when that happens, like, you're like, wow, I would love to have you on. And so, he reached out to me. We were supposed to do it on that Sunday. And he's like, I'm not feeling well. Can we, I go, and I'm kind of like you on some things. When I want to get something done, I push forward, positive push.
Yeah.
And so I could tell he wanted to do it, but he kind of wanted to back out. But I go, I'll tell you what, tonight I'm going to do Fraser Smith's radio show, KLOS. A lot of comics, we do it on Sunday nights. I go, on the way home, I go, I'm going to call you and I'll see how you're feeling. And he goes, okay, that sounds good. So I called him, and he was up for talking, but he goes, I don't know if I really have the energy. He goes, and so we postponed it. Well, how about tomorrow? We'll try tomorrow. He goes, yeah, let's try tomorrow. So the next day he's like, I'm feeling better. You know, I'm not back, but let's do it. And I went to his apartment in Sherman Oaks, I think. I know
Valley
it's
Village.
Valley Village. Yes, I know the street it's on. So I went there, and there's like, I remember parking and parked by the. He's like, yeah, there's a place by the post office, and I found parking, and I just remember very vividly. I have my little bag of podcast equipment. It's like this big bag, and I'm walking. I see him. He greeted me. I wave at him. You know, he gives me a hug. We go upstairs. He's like, yeah, I got this. I got a girl helping me out with some stuff. She's gonna, you know, until I can get better. She's just sort of, you know, helping me out. Like I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, wow, like a personal assistant or so. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was someone he dated in the past. I'm not sure. But she was gonna go run some errands, like do groceries, and so I remember. I don't know if I met her then or she was out. I think she might have been out. Yeah. So he and I just talked for a couple hours until she got back. And then she got back and she was unloading the groceries, putting things together. And she's like, do you want, and then they offered coffee, right? I'm like, yeah, let's drink some coffee. You know, I like to drink my coffee before I do a podcast or whatever. And what I found was interesting is they didn't have coffee filters. And so she was like, she's like, you know what? Let's. And so they, I don't know if you've ever made coffee, but you know, so no coffee filters, but they tried a paper towel. And I was thinking, oh my God, there's going to be like remnants in the coffee. But sure enough, there was nothing, and it actually worked. So he and I, you know, we're drinking coffee, and she wrapped it up, and she left, and then we ended up doing this podcast. It was over 2 hours, and just one-on-one, you know, like across the table, and it was an interesting time because usually when you talk to somebody, you're looking at your phone, things are coming up. You know, it's very hard these days, you know, to like sit down and have a one-on-one with someone, you know. So I cherish that moment and that time with Brody.
Yeah.
We wrap up, and I remember we ended up talking for another 40 minutes, something like that. And I just remember, like, I think he went down something, but he like left me in the apartment by myself for a while. And I remember like just looking at everything was like it was like a Brody museum or a Brody like I don't know what the word is, but like anyways, it was
everything that Brody like fascinated. I mean, he looked at, he loved, was up there. Like celebrities he took pictures with over the years. Yeah.
All the 818 stuff. Well, I mean, there was like different photos of him, like at different stages doing the high kick, you know, and, you know, different merch and just different things. I remember there was like, he literally had like stacks of like money. Like there was just like there was a big pile of like, I don't know if it was 20s or it was, I think I may have seen some 100. There was money there. And I remember thinking like that's so cool that he, you know, like, he trusts me, like, you know, like I'm in his apartment.
Wait, he had actual money. This is not fake money.
No, it was real. It was real. Yeah.
Wow.
It was real. It was like, yeah, you know, because it was just interesting. Like, you know, all the stuff was there. I was like, oh, it's cool. There's like money like right there. And then, you know, and I just remember seeing like, and then I remember his like he had showed me. I mean, I wasn't snooping around because this is all right in the living room, but I know. And I went to the sock drawer. Oh my gosh, no, it was like. No, but I mean, he gave me the little tour beforehand. So I remember going back to the bookshelf. You know, I was like, this is so cool. I was looking at his bookshelf, and it was all about comedy and writing comedy, or it was about, I want to say like baseball. It was the things that he loved, and it was really interesting to see that it was represented in like book form and art form, and you know. And
well, I remember listening to that podcast, and you went into his restroom. What was his bathroom like?
Same thing. It was like 818, you know, push, believe, like all that kind of stuff that people would maybe find. Either they'd make themselves or they would find it like at a Michael's or something, and it would make them think of, you know, Brody, and they'd give it to him or something, or I don't know. But it was like certain people, it's really easy to buy like Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, because you're like, oh, I know this guy's into, you know, Dr. Baseball, or they're into, you know, like chess. Like, you know, like people might give me chess socks or whatever.
Land or any kind of character.
Yeah. When you know what they're into, then you're going to, you know, and that's why it's kind of funny when you're younger, like, your interests change so much. Like I remember like my grandma would give me like a Scooby-Doo toothbrush. And I'm like, Grandma, I'm 16, like that was more when I was 7, but
Yeah.
and anyway, so we did that podcast. I was like over the moon. I was like, man, this is so cool. Like, and on there we had talked about, I said, I know I'm not an expert. I go, but I know just for myself, what a mood elevator for me is, I drink black coffee. I make a little to-do list. I scratch stuff off. I do physical fitness. I push up, sit up. See, like, Tommy, look at this. This is my list right here. I don't know if you can see that, but this is for August. I do 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups every day. And if I miss a day, I put a little X, which is, I mean, these little things like this, it just kind of, it helps me feel good. And
Have you done it today, though? Have you done it today?
I did. I missed yesterday, but I did today. See, August 25th.
Oh,
yeah.
You missed 24th. Okay. That was Mamba Day. I mean, that was Kobe Bryant Day.
Oh yeah. See, like there's July. I don't know if you can see July.
Do you keep those? Oh, you flip them over. Okay, I got what you're doing. Okay, that's cool.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, that's July. Yeah, I'm just like I keep my little notepad here, but
What does your wife think about that? Does she think you're just like, oh my God, Darren, you're so cool? You're so.
I mean, it's like I think now it's like she's used to it, but it is kind of funny because my son made a joke one time because I posted videos and on my YouTube channel, and my son was like, Dad, I think if I were to like see the Beatles in concert and they were like they're so amazing, and then I'd go to their YouTube channel, I'd want to hear their songs. I wouldn't want to see Paul McCartney doing like jumping jacks, like. You guys check out my YouTube channel, and they're thinking they're gonna get more comedy than I'm up there. You're going like 1, 2, 3. It's like what the f? No, but I put it all, like on my YouTube. I put it all on there: stand up, vlogs, podcasts.
Yeah. So to get back to that night with Brody and stuff like that, you reached out to him, and you were, I mean, what I'm saying is like you kind of sensed, like you said, it was a mood booster. Was like getting out, getting your steps in and stuff like that, and how'd that go with Brody?
It was great, man. It was great. We afterwards I filmed him. We did some push-ups, and he was making jokes. We were making jokes. We're like, yes, enjoy it, and our plan was to go that week to, I think we're going to go to Griffith Park and walk. And it was probably going to be on a Thursday. I think I was like, okay, Thursday's good. And I didn't hear from him. I messaged him and stuff. And then, of course, we found what happened. And I was devastated, to say the least. It was just crazy. It was great. It was, imagine hearing awful news and then selfishly a little layer on top is you had just done a podcast with someone like that. And so, you know what I mean? So you're like, damn, like, and then you start thinking, oh my God, how am I going to address this? Like I can't just like do an episode next week. Like it was just crazy. It was awful. It was awful. I mean, it still haunts me. Sometimes when I really think about it, like I don't like to, it was just, and then that week I had listened to it, and it was a very heart-to-heart podcast and stuff. And sometimes when I'm doing something, I'm driving or something, I'll throw in a podcast. And I'm telling you that podcast before what happened on that Friday, it was a special podcast because it was just two guys just talking about life, about what's going on in life. You were talking about your son. He was talking about his stuff and all that. So it wasn't like your normal, like two comedians just talking and stuff. It was like a heart to heart. And I remember when I heard that, as soon as I finished the podcast, I remember sending you a message saying, man, that podcast was special, man. And then unfortunately what happened on Friday was just like, man, dude, it was just so surreal. I don't know how to explain it, but it was I don't know, man. It was crazy. But what you said in that podcast was about going out there and meeting with Brody and to kind of, it was like you're trying to help him, while he was in need and stuff. And that's when I reached out to you. And that's how the Brody Festival Friendship Walk came about, was because we wanted to not have that not happen. So I reached out to you, and 3 months later after his passing, we actually met out there, and it was really cool, man. It was a special thing, and I always remember that. Because honestly, I didn't know what to do, and then when you said, "Hey, we should still continue the walk," you were supposed to walk with Brody. You should still, maybe we could set something up, and and I was like, how like, especially then I was like touring back and forth, this and that, and I was like, I don't want to commit to like, yes. And then I'm like, okay, man, if you handle it, I'll
Yeah,
be a
yeah.
part of it, and I'll promote on the podcast, and we'll do a walk. And then I think one day I DM'd you, and I was like, dude, what if no one shows up, man? It's gonna be weird. What if it's just me and you, you know? And then I'll never forget what you said. You go, no, there'll be like at least 3 people there. I'm like, who? And you go, me, you, and Brody and Spirit. And I thought, wow, that's
Good stuff, man.
good stuff, man. So I was
Yeah.
shocked because I didn't know. I mean, it's it's weird because there are connections, like you know what I mean. It's kind of like,
I know it's like well, like you can promote something and put it out there and put all that energy into putting out flyers and doing all that stuff, but you don't know, man. You don't know if people are actually going to come out. They might say like, oh, that's so awesome, but they might not come out.
Yep.
Thank you both for keeping spirits alive.
Oh, I want to read a quick comment. Raphael, 1989, joined, and Burn Trees, he says, thank you both for keeping Brody's spirit alive. Tommy was thrilled to see his cutout at the Dodgers game on ESPN after his passing.
Yeah, that was cool. It was the first time when the baseball season was going to come back and stuff, and I saw something on the Dodgers thing saying, hey, if you want your cutout at Dodger Stadium, because they weren't going to have any fans in the stadium, and it just hit me. I'm like, why don't we put Brody there? You know what I mean? So I came out with it, and I put it out there. I said, hey, does anybody want to? I didn't want to do it all by myself. I wanted people. I didn't know how much it was going to cost. I just put it out there. I said, hey, does anybody want to donate to get a Brody cutout at Dodger Stadium? And the people at Rock and Pins, they reached out and said, hey, I'll pay for it. And that's how it went. And it was awesome. And the first night at Dodger Stadium, they actually panned. They had him on. The camera was right on him, and it was a split shot with the M&M's commercial. And just Twitter went crazy, man. I'm talking to all these like famous comedians. We're just like, dude, I never thought that I would see Brody at a Dodger game again, especially when it happened. It was just a special thing, and I think he was just there in spirit, man.
Let's give a shout out again. It's called Rock and Pins.
Rock and Pins. The people at Rock and Pins, man. They're the people that donated or raised the money for the Brody bench that was in Reseda Park. So if any of you guys want to go out there, it's a Reseda Park. It's right between the Duck Pond and the Dodger Stadium. That would be cool if it was at Dodger Stadium. No, but it's at the Dodgers. There's a baseball field there.
Yeah, baseball field and Duck Pond, and it's just Google Reseda Park and you'll see it. It's a pretty small park. You could find it. And I've stopped there a couple of times. I used to go to a boxing gym that was on that same street, and I was driving past it one day, and I'm like, that's Reseda Park? I didn't know it was like right there. And then I the next day I pulled over and I found the bench, and it was very surreal just to have like the breeze blowing and hearing the ducks, and it was just quiet. Like life goes on, but then here I'm looking at this bench and I'm reading what it said, and it was just like, it's cool.
I've the first time I went out there, I just sat there and I listened to a podcast with him. I listened to him, like a podcast of him talking and stuff, and I was just like watching people walk by and feeding the ducks and stuff. It's I don't know. It's just like a hollow ground. It's a special place, man. I will always be for people that love Brody, man, to go see him, to go visit that bench and stuff. And that's why we had the last year this year we had the Brody Walk there, man, because I thought it was very special, man, to bring back the second annual Brody Walk to Reseda and stuff, because that's where you grow up, and that's it. And we had about 45 people that showed up.
Let's tell people about the Brody Walk. So the first year we did it in Griffith Park, and I didn't not know what to expect. I thought it was going to be me, you, and I have no idea. And but then I showed up, and like you guys had like this tent, and you had refreshments, and there was people there, and then we kind of gathered around, and it was like, how many people?
Let's give a shout out to my Uber driver. See, when I met when Brenda Sanchez, we're gonna say what's up to Brenda Sanchez. She is amazing, dude. Let me tell you something about her. Brenda saw Brody for one time, the last time, the week of his passing and stuff like that. And I jokingly said Brenda was my Uber driver because she brought me from San Diego to come see Brody and stuff. So she's always going to be the Uber driver to Brody. But anyways, she's the best, right?
Yeah.
She's the best. she's helped out with everything, man. She has a lot of stuff on her plate and stuff, and she loved Brody. And anything that we do with the Brody Walk or any other event is has a lot to do with Brenda Sanchez, because she's so organized and stuff like that, and we really work good together. Because it's one thing to come up with something like an event or something like that, but it's actually, you got to do the work for it. You got to actually like organize it, put it together, and Brenda's very good about that, because the line of work that she does, she has to be on it, and she keeps me honest. And I'm really so happy that she was able to see Brody before and appreciate his greatness.
What
And
line of
now
work does she do?
she's she works at a funeral home.
Because she's organized. She's really good
She's
at like
organized.
organizing.
She's a great person. She has a son that just got out of boot camp. He's a Marine now.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's so cool, man. The day that we had the Brody Stevens Day, man, she jumped on the freaking freeway and jammed down to San Diego and saw her son. It was a
That's
a
cool.
beautiful day for her, man. She went from Brody to spending a special moment with her son coming back from boot camp. But
Wow.
I just want to say thank you to Brenda Sanchez. She's amazing. Follow her on Instagram and all that.
So
I mean,
you're still, I want to say like, what I think you have, one of the things that's special about you is you get an idea and you somehow, some way make it happen. And that not a lot of people do that, man. That's why I told you afterwards, I said, you love comedy, you love stand up, I think you do it yourself a
yeah,
little
I do it
bit.
myself.
And,
Yeah,
but
not
yeah.
like the party started, but yeah. We're gonna get back into all that
But
stuff.
I
But
think, I
anyways, what's
think
going on?
I think one day you should, I mean, not even, maybe there's something in this business for you. You know what I mean? I don't know. I really do, man, because you get stuff done and people are impressed by it. They're like, because most people don't get anything done. They have these dreams, and it goes away. You get stuff done. So, I mean, the fact that you had this vision, like, there should be a walk. Darren said there should be a walk. We should do it. So, boom. We did the walk. People gathered, the tent, the refreshments, the trivia games beforehand. We walked about a mile, come back. I mean, our half
Yeah.
mile and a mile back, and then we didn't do it and we didn't do it in 2020, but we did it in 2021, and more people came out, and it's just like, and it's like a
Yeah,
celebration of Brody, and also like just the positive spirit that he,
and
left. But you organized it though, you know what I mean? You didn't just like, hey, we should do this one day. You actually do it.
we organized it, but we've come a long way from organizing, because it was so funny, because when me and Brenda showed up to set up the whole thing, we're like, there's nobody showing up. So you start to panic a little bit. You're like, you did all
Yeah.
this work and nobody's going to show up. And then I start thinking, I didn't tell them where to meet us at this park. So then and then it was me and you, and I said, hey, let's go to the bathroom. We walked to the bathroom at the Gene Autry Museum, and all of a sudden, and then I look to the left and I see all these people just waiting, and they got Brody shirts, and I'm thinking, oh my God, thank you God. It was like seeing like the cavalry
Yeah.
show up, man. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it was beautiful, man. And then we walked over there, and then we said, hey man, come this way. We're over there to the side. And just to speak about that time, the first Brody walk, Brenda actually went into Gene Autry, the museum, and literally went from the security guard all the way to the top person, and let them, or told them about what we were doing, and let us set up shop there and stuff, man. Because I mean, when you're on somebody's property, you don't want to just set up and not tell them. So Brenda took the
Yeah.
initiative to go up there, and she actually gave some of the Brody bracelets to them, and it was just special, man. I'm always going to remember that day. And from that moment on, we're gonna do a lot of things to keep Brody's memory alive, because, um, like I said on Brody Day, I mean, he really resonated with me. His story about mental illness and
Yeah.
staying positive stuff, he really changed my life, man. And I know he's changed a lot of other people's lives. So I want to keep that memory alive and want to thank him, because a lot of people, man, a lot of your heroes and people that really like change the way you think, change the way that you look at the world and stuff. You got to continue to keep their memory alive, and that's what we're doing, man. And I really appreciate you, Darren, because um, you got a lot of stuff on your plate. You got your husband, you got a son, you got your comedy career. I mean, you got your hit show, the Pocket Party podcast. You know what I mean? You got all this stuff, man. You're a huge superstar, man. And for you to always be a part of all this stuff, it really means a lot to me, because you were friends with Brody. you saw him over the last, 25 years doing his stand-up. So it
Yeah.
means a lot to me that you're a part of that because it just makes it more special. And on for the people that didn't see on 818 day, we his mom, Brody's mom and sister accepted the certificate that forever, August 18th will forever be Brody Stevens Day, man. And that
Yeah.
just, to me, made it so special.
Absolutely. I was so excited to see them. So happy to see them. The last time I
Yes.
see them both in person was at the memorial at the Comedy Store. So it was so nice to see them. You know what I mean? Something that was, very positive and legit. Like the police were there, the council member was there.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
him, and it was.
It was
And then, by the
amazing,
way,
man. Yeah.
so how does that happen? So you get this idea, August 18th, numbers are 818. Brody was always like 818, 818. So how did you like reach out? Did you Google
I didn't know.
how did you
Hey,
do
man,
it?
let me tell you something, man. It was an email and a prayer, man, because I'm not really into politics. I don't know how things run. I didn't know who I needed to email. I didn't even know. I didn't know that does Reseda have a mayor? Who's the mayor? Who do I need to talk to? And I found
Yeah,
out that Reseda is just a community of LA. That Eric Garcetti is the mayor of all that, and that they have a District 3, the third district, and it's run by council member Bob Blumenfield, and he's the one that I reached out to, and it just went from there, man. I waited a few days. I sent everything out. I said, hey, we're doing a lot of good things for the Brody, and I want the city of Reseda, city of Los Angeles, to recognize him for what he's done, in his lifetime and stuff. Sadly, he's not here today, but he's inspired so many people. And I think that the city of LA needs to recognize him and give him his own day because he represented LA, Reseda, the Valley, to the fullest and stuff. And yeah, they got back to me, and it was just like, okay, want to set up a meeting, and we did a video chat, and it went from there, man. It was like every time that I would meet with them on a video chat, it was like I would meet one more person. It was like going up levels on a game, man. I was like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
you need to beat this guy. Then you got to go to this guy. And then, you got to go all the way to the top and stuff.
yeah,
So it was super cool, man. I knew the further I went with these meetings and stuff, the more serious I knew that it was going to be. And the moment when I had 3 other things that I want to do for Brody and stuff, but I knew that August 18th was coming soon. I mean, this was 2 weeks out. And when Jake Flynn, shout out to Jake Flynn, he's the communications director for Bob Blumenfield. He actually told me, man, he's like, hey, I think we can do this August 18th and stuff, and we're going to put this on the council member, the meeting, and they're going to vote on it. And then that was it, man. It was so awesome, man. The week before, they had everything out, and they actually signed it, and here it is.
wow,
If you can
that's
see
so
right
cool.
here, I know it's kind of backwards, but that's Eric Garcetti right there. That's the mayor of LA right there.
Wow,
And then that's Bob Blumenfield, his signature. But if you can see, this is like legit, man. All these people that sign this are all council members of all the districts.
wow,
And then right here, it's actually a test and a city clerk. I mean, this is like legit. So we all knew that Brody 818 or August 18th was Brody Stevens Day, but to make it official like that
yeah,
is just like mind blowing,
yeah,
man.
like
Because
official.
official, dude. And then it's like you got 818 Day for Brody Stevens Day, and then yesterday was Kobe Bryant Day, and those guys forever, like, all you just think of LA, you think of Kobe Bryant, you think of Brody Stevens, and for them to have their both days like 6 days apart. And I don't know if you know, but Kevin Bacon, his six degrees
Oh yeah,
separation. We got 6 days of separation, so that's the kind of
yeah,
cool thing, man. It's just so cool. And Stephanie, Brody's sister, she sent me a text that says, "Thank you so much. This meant so much for me and my mom, and we're forever gonna hold this in our hearts and stuff." And that's what it's all about. Is I don't want them to think like, oh, okay, he passed away and then that's it. Let's keep this going and stuff like that. We want to always let them know that we support them, we love them and stuff. So
You know,
Um,
one of the things that Brody did back in the day, way back in the day, that I thought was pretty funny and pretty cool. Um, do you remember when websites were like I remember getting a computer like a little bit later than everybody, and so I'd
yeah,
be like, what website should I go to? I want to go to websites. Like I don't know what these websites are. You know, I didn't know where to go. Right? I'm like, now I got a computer. What do I do with it? And so I would go to like, you know, Joe Rogan had a good website. Brody Stevens had a good website. Dane Cook had a good website. But I'd go to Brody Stevens' website, and on one of the pages he had links to other comedians. So it would be like Darren Carter, and then you'd blah blah blah, and you had different comedians. So I thought that was so cool to like go to all these different links. And then he was just like how now we do vlogs and we do daily posts on Instagram or stories, but he was doing it on his website, and it was
yeah,
entertaining. It was entertaining. I was entertained by his thoughts and his, you know, his jokes and his thoughts, his pictures. But then the links thing was cool because I'd be like, oh no, and I'd go to his website first before I'd go to other like, oh, let me see what Tommy Godlove, and I click it, and then so. But then MySpace came out. When like when did MySpace come out? Like 2003.
yeah, yeah, something like that. Early 2000s. Yeah,
Yeah, and because I'd always compliment him on his website. Hey, I like that thing you said, or that when I'd see him at a gig. And I remember one time I was at Westwood Brewing Company. They call it Brewco, and
yeah,
I'd be like, and somehow the topic came up of his website and me going there, and then I go, I got to be honest. I go, I don't go as much because now I go to MySpace now. And he goes, Brody Stevens losing viewers to MySpace. you know, like like he kind of made a joke about that, like that he's losing me to MySpace, and you know,
yeah, yeah. What I love about Brody was because he was so, like you said, man, you look to him for like, okay, what's the next in thing? You know what I mean? He
yeah,
was so above the curve, I mean, ahead of the curve and stuff like that. But
yeah. I remember I'd see him on stage one night, you know, because he's so loose and stuff, and I thought, you know, back to the physical fitness thing. I remember seeing him like doing his, you know, material riffing, and then out of nowhere, like he would like act like he'd adjust his hat and act like he's pitching a baseball, and he'd lean back and show you the perfect form and do the whole thing. And I thought, damn, that looks cool, man. It looks cool to be on stage and be physically fit, and then do like an exercise type thing that
yeah,
looks
yeah.
badass.
It was so
And
cool
then,
because he would say,
yeah,
does anybody take apple cider vinegar, right? And then he would take the back of his shirt and make it stretch. I mean, pull it towards his stomach, and he goes, "See that? That's apple cider vinegar right there, man." You know what I mean? To see
oh, he'd make it
how
real tight and show like his.
he'd make it real tight in the frame so you could see his flat stomach, and you go, "Yep, that's apple cider vinegar right there."
That's funny.
Yeah, dude, I
That's
love things
funny.
like that.
You know what, man?
Um,
It's weird. As much as I would see him here and there, I guess I didn't really know about the apple cider vinegar thing. And believe it or not, it somehow missed me. And it was like, so I didn't find out about that till later. So, you know,
yeah, just I mean, there'll
but
never
that's
be another
funny.
Brody Stevens, man. It was just amazing. And the people that showed up, let me get back to the Brody Day thing.
Yeah.
Dude, so many people showed up that like are, you know what I mean? Like, let me start with Darren Carter. We got Sam Tripoli, Benji. What's his last? Benji of
Cynthia
Flalo?
Flalo,
Yeah. Um, Brody's manager,
Dave
Dave
Rath,
Rath. Who else? Earl Skakel, Dean Del Rey. I mean, Howard Kramer, which was
Howard Kramer.
was his really good friend. Tana Manu, Yoshi. How do you say his last? Abayashi?
Yeah, Yoshi Abi. Yeah, Yoshi. Yeah, I just know him as Yoshi.
Okay, Yoshi. When I reach out and did you know that Tana came all the way from Seattle? He met freaking Yoshi.
Ooh,
He met Yoshi in Vegas, and they drove all the way down through the middle of the night to be there, man. It was just
wow.
amazing, dude. It was
Wow.
just the pilgrimage. I mean, the journey to get there, man, was just crazy,
Wow.
man. And you know, what I mean, and I don't know about you, man, but when you're about to go up, and all of a sudden you see all these people, you see the cameras, you see it's like all the police, you see Brody's mom come. I mean, just to get up in front of that, man, I'm just like, the heart's just pumping, man. You know what I mean?
You did great though, man. You know what it is? You did what they call preparation. You know, you had your notes. You were prepared. You didn't just like wing it. So that's why I think you
Yeah,
know.
like this guy Darren, he kind of winged it at the end. I'm like, dude, I gave you a week notice, man. This is what you're gonna give me? I'm just playing, man.
Yeah. No, you know what? I knew what I was going to say, and I just wanted to thank his mom and his sister, and I wanted to, thank the council members and just say something from the heart. And, I remember one time I went to a memorial at the Laugh Factory, and it was like 30 different comedians were talking, and some people would speak from the heart, some people had notes, some people would do. You know what the weirdest thing is? I thought was when people did their acts, their comedy acts, because they're so used to leaning on their stand-up. Like one guy, he was like, I really miss Richard Jenny. He always loved my impressions. Let's do this for Richard. Then he'd start doing impressions, and it was just like, it's a little weird, man, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, like with memorials and stuff, it's like they don't, I mean, it's like talk about them and then they just go into their act, it's,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Hey, before I let you go, man, so you stay positive by just doing you just put out your list and stuff and do your push-ups and your sit-ups and how do you stay positive through all the negativity, man?
I try to like tune some of the stuff out, I'll, of course you want to be a little aware of what's happening, like in the news or whatever, but I try to like not dive into it and argue with people and just, okay, that's happening. Okay. But what can I control on myself? Like I said, the physical fitness stuff, dieting, trying to like not pig out every meal, like I'll do that sometimes, but I know how I feel if I just meal after meal and then the clothes don't fit right and I feel like crap and I don't like that. I'm sleeping all day. I don't like that kind of energy. I like I always thought when I got into YouTube, like trying to build my YouTube channel up, I'd watch these tutorials and they said, what can you control? You can't control how many people subscribe or how many people, you can't control that. So what can you control? And I decided every day I'm going to upload a video to YouTube, or I'm going to figure out how to make better thumbnails, or I'm going to learn how to edit certain things and just things you can control. So that's what I'd say, Tommy, or anybody watching this, like find something that you can control without anybody's permission, without anybody, I had Tom Dreesen on the podcast, and Tom Dreesen is great, man. He's opened for Frank Sinatra for so many years. He like 60 Tonight Show appearances. He's in his 80s. He's just so great, man, with advice. And one of the things he said is also when it comes to people putting you down, like if someone said, Tommy, you're a Chinese girl, you'd be like, that's ridiculous. There's no way I'm a Chinese girl. He goes, but if someone says you're not funny, you're not attractive, no one likes you, why do we believe those things? He's like, don't think about it. And then he also said something about like a garden, something about life as a garden, and try to pull the weeds out. Don't let those weeds grow, those negative thoughts. Think of those as weeds. Just, nurture the flowers, nurture the positive stuff. So that's what I do. Also, let's just say all that stuff isn't really working. They say that music is a mood elevator. So sometimes I'll find a genre of music on YouTube that I like, or I'll find like a certain, it'll take me to another place. It'll transform me. Also, we talked about this on the podcast with Brody, like taking those showers, having the shower with the water going over your body and you got the music playing. And I have a friend that went to what's that motivational speaker that everyone knows? He's been around forever.
Tim Robbins?
Yeah, is that his name?
Tim Robbins, the big guy, the big tall guy?
Yeah, but I don't think, is his name Tim Robbins?
Not Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins, yeah, Tony Robbins. Yeah. And
there's a Tim Robbins out there probably too. Okay,
yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, there's like a Tim Robbins, but I'm a motivational speaker. Come to my seminar. But my friend went to one of those things and he said there was a thing called like, something about like a therapy called like, it was a play on words like shake your ass. And basically it was like, when all else fails, put some music on and start physically shaking your butt, like just dance around. And the next thing you know, the endorphins kick in and your mood elevates and stuff. So, I mean, but really,
you also told me about watching some videos, man, about a famous movies.
Oh yeah, man, and that's another thing I've done. Like I'll go to those. I'll watch like last week. Actually, the day that you said that, earlier that day, I've been watching some Rocky clips from Rocky because, in the movie Creed, Rocky, he's like every day, he's like you got to keep moving forward, one step, one punch, one round at a time. You got to keep moving forward. There's that clip. I love that clip. There's the one where he's talking to his son, like, I had the privilege of watching you grow up. And life ain't all about sunshine and rainbows. It's not how hard you can hit. It's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. And that ain't you. And I watch that stuff and it's like, yeah, you get the goosebumps. And you're like, damn it, man, you want to go out and do more push-ups and but
Yeah,
physical
for real,
exercise,
man.
get a good sweat going, man.
I really know I really feel that somebody out there is going to listen to this, man, later and just like take your advice and stuff, because there's people out there, man, that are feeling low and stuff, and I think like all your advice is really going to help people out. It helps me out, man, because when I'm feeling like that, I'll send you out a message and you'll be like, hey man, you got to watch these Rocky movies, these Rocky clips and stuff, and I watched them and it really pumped me up and stuff like that. So I really appreciate you doing that, man. Whenever I think of Darren Carter, I think of other than the party starter, I think about just a overall good guy, man. That's a good, good dad and everything. And we're gonna continue to grow our friendship, man. For reals. But tell me right now, what's your next gigs, man?
Next gig, they can just hit me up on Instagram. I usually post it on there. I think I'm at Lake Elsinore, and then I was supposed to be doing a big. Yeah. Go ahead.
I got a present for you. It's a surprise for you, man. No, it's not a surprise because I'm gonna tell you right now. But anyways, Brenda and her coworkers and my mom are going to go see you this Friday at 9 p.m.
Oh, nice. Sweet. At the Outlets, right? There's a comedy club at the Outlets there. I've never been there before, but
I've never been there before, but Brenda and her funeral friends are gonna come out, and mom's are gonna come out. So yeah, man, that's gonna be cool, dude. See, that's the Festival of Friendship, man. We like to support our friends.
Cool, man. The funeral friends. You're like, okay, I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna kill it, man. I'm gonna kill it.
I'm gonna kill it. Hey, man, ask her for one of those discount what do you call it? Some codes and stuff, man. She'll help you out, dude. I mean,
one time I was at the Fresno Fair, and they had a thing you could spin the wheel, and one of the prizes was one single grave. it's like, yeah, it's like, I don't know if I really want that. It's I love going to fairs. I love going to the fairs. I think I saw you guys at the fair. We saw real quick. I saw a tribute artist. My wife and I. We saw George. It's called George Michael Reborn at the OC Fair, and that guy was so damn good, man. He did some Wham songs, some George songs. It's like he puts you in a time machine and transports you back to the fun times of the 80s and 90s, man. It was cool.
Yeah, it's a good thing, man. But yeah. So, anyways, follow Darren Carter, the party starter, on YouTube and everything like that, and go out check out one of his shows.
Thank you, buddy.
You're a good guy, Darren, man. I'll
Thanks,
be your friend forever, dude. You have anything else you want to plug or anything?
No, I'm gonna go for a little exercise right now, and then upload another video and get on with my day. But yeah, save this, put it on IGTV. I don't know what you're gonna do with it, but
I'm gonna save this, and we're gonna put this out there, man. I think a lot of people that love Brody, love you, and love me and all that. I mean, want to hear the stories and stuff like that of how things came about, man, and the beginnings of the journey, man.
Thank you, Tommy. Let's read some of these comments here. Somebody wrote something. Andy Parrish, thank you guys for keeping Brody's legacy alive. It's so cool. He has his own day now. 818 forever. Yes. Shout out to Ari Korn, OS Mama. Osmond Body Mechanics. Thank you. Thank you. Is there any other comments that we missed? I don't want to miss too many. Anyways, thank you so much, Tommy.
Let me show this real quick here. You signed. So what I did was all the speakers, man, they signed this bat right here. And let me see. Oh, look at that. Darren Carter right there. Look at that right there. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to put this in a case and stuff. I'm gonna preserve it. I don't know what I'm going to do it. I don't know. We'll see what I'm going to do with it. And then we also have a ball that you signed. Did you sign this? Yeah, you did.
Oh, I guess I did. I don't remember signing that. That's
you don't remember signing that?
No, I did sign that. That's cool.
So if you see this on eBay, man, please buy this for about $1 million, please.
Nice.
Anyways, Darren, I love you, man. Thank you so much, dude, for coming on the first ever Brody's Festival of Friendship Walk live IG show, man.
You got it, buddy. I'll catch you later. Have a good one.
All right, take care, man. Enjoy it. See you.
Bye.
Enjoy it.
Pocket party. Yeah. When I'm down and feeling low with so much negativity, I listen to Darren Carter's Pocket Party. He got his friends as guests and they be really funny. It ain't over till he say, boy, don't hurt nobody. Yeah. They run,